Hello everyone, this is Neha Tulsyan from Crescent Creation. Welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. It's time for Lawn Fawn Fans Video Hop, and this is our fall edition. So we're bringing you everything fall, which includes Halloween and Christmas projects.
And I created this beautiful monochromatic Christmas card. I was inspired by the current Lawn Fanatics challenge, and I just used one color for my whole card, which, trust me, was so very hard for me. And as usual, we do have a giveaway for this hop, which I will discuss about later in this video. So here I'm working on my scene, and I'm starting with stamping two borders from the Over the Mountain Borders stamp set. I stamped the first border completely, and for my second one I'm doing a little bit of partial stamping here. Because I'm using Misty, it's easy to know where my stamp image will stamp, so I'm just using my fingers to wipe off the excess ink, and I was able to partially stamp that border. Once that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and heat set my sentiment. For the sentiment, I'm using the giant holiday message stamp set, and I'm heat embossing the sentiment in silver embossing powder. So here I'm stamping the image or sentiment in clear ink, making sure I have a nice and crisp image here. Next, I'm pouring the silver embossing powder on top of it and tapping off the excess. And once that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and heat set it using my heat tool. Once the powder is nice and shiny, that means it's all done, and I will move on to the next step. I knew I wanted to add some ink blending for the top part of my card, but it felt a little empty to me, so here I'm just stamping some snowflakes from the new Frosties stamp set. Before stamping, I prepped the surface using some anti-static powder tool, and here I'm stamping different snowflakes using some clear ink. Just randomly stamping the snowflakes around my sentiment, making sure I have a good coverage. Once done, I'm gonna go ahead and pour some white embossing powder on top of the stamped images. Then I'm gonna go ahead and heat set it using my heat tool. Here you want to make sure that you're moving your heat tool enough and not focusing in one place, especially in the center where we have already stamped our sentiment. Now that that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to ink blending. So here I have my Make Art station out, and I am using the magnet to hold the cardstock in place while I'm ink blending. I'm using Hickory Smoke Distress ink to ink the edges of my card front. I wanted my center of the card to be nice and white, but have this dark grayish color coming from all sides and then fading into the white. And to achieve that nice dark gray color, I also brought in black soot, and you'll see me adding that, and you can immediately see that the edges have gone darker a little bit here, and that just looks so beautiful to me. Next, I'm spritzing my background using my distress sprayer, and then I'm gonna go ahead and blot it dry using the paper towel. I just love the texture that I got here. It's just so beautiful. It almost gave that snow effect to the whole background, and I really liked it. Quickly heat set my background here so that I can work on my next steps, and here I'm just coloring the images. I'm using Copic markers to color all my images today. For my tree here, I'm using some warm grays. The colors that I have used are all listed on the screen. So now let's talk about the giveaway. Our store, Crescent Creation, is giving a $25 shopping spree to one lucky winner from this hop. All you have to do is comment on each video in this hop to be considered for the giveaway. You can also choose to like and subscribe to all our channels. This just helps us bring new content to you all the time. Also, we are just shipping to US, Canada and India for now. So please do not forget to let us know where you are from when you're commenting. So now back to the card. I used warm grays to color the trees, and to color the hill I'm using some cool grays. So even if I'm using one color to create this card, it just brings a little bit of variation by using different kinds of grays for the different parts of the card. It might look like a simple card, but trust me, it took me forever to decide what colors to use and how I wanted to create this card, because man, this was tough for me. Creating a scene with just one color was really hard for me. Next, I'm using my glue pen and adding some glue to the trees so that I can add some snow to it. I added a little bit of glue on the tips of the trees, and then I'm just running the pen across the scalloped edge of the tree, pouring some Prisma glitter here and tapping off the excess. I'll repeat that process with all the trees. I just loved how beautiful and glittery the snow looked on top of all these trees. Before I move on to the next step, I made sure I gave those trees enough time to dry, which was like 5-10 minutes. So for me, this card is very simple, especially I think because there is only one color, because I'm used to colorful cards and elaborate scenes. I chose to add some more layers here, so I'm adding some snow using the grit paste in Snowfall. I'm using Snow Flurries backdrop stencil to add snow all around my sentiment. I even added a little bit on top of the trees. Next, I decided to add the Snowfall paste on the top of my hills, just to give that illusion of snow here. I just love this paste and I cannot get enough of it, so I guess I really had to add it everywhere. Look at that, it looks so beautiful. I just love the texture. I left it to dry overnight, and here I'm just running some tape behind my card front and gluing it to a top folding note card. I did trim my card front just a 1/4 inch from the taller side, so you can see a little bit of white peeking through from the left and the right side. Here I'm just trimming off a little bit from the right side of the card because my card front was not centered. And that finishes my card for today. I must tell you that I'm in love with this card. I just love all the texture and layers that we added in this card. And still it's kind of a 1-layer card, so it will be perfect if you want to mail this to someone. And if you really like this design, you can mass produce this. It's not a whole lot of steps. So let me know in the comment section below, will you try to mass produce this card design? I love to hear from you and chat with you, so comment away. Don't forget to hop along. The link to next person in the hop is in the description box below. A few more videos that you might like to watch. Thank you for visiting. Have a nice day.